Hi, this is Matt Maerowitz of the Maerowitz Law Firm, and I'm going to tell you about 7 tips if you're involved in a car accident in Arizona. So first of all, I want to tell you that these tips apply to pretty much any car accident in Arizona, but it may not apply to accidents that involve very serious injuries that require immediate medical attention. Because obviously, first and foremost, your health and safety is the most important. So if you need to get immediate ambulance help, you may not be able to follow through with all of these tips. But for most accidents, hopefully you find these very helpful. And I also want to mention this because I can't tell you how many times I speak to someone who's involved in a car accident and they don't follow a few of these tips. Either they don't know about it or they just don't do it. And sometimes it could make a big difference when processing a claim with the insurance and maximizing the value of a claim that you may have. So tip number 1, you gotta stay calm and do not admit fault. Now, it may seem obvious that you shouldn't be admitting fault in an accident, but even cases that may seem cut and dry, even ones that you may think you're at fault, once the evidence is gathered, your initial perceptions of the accident may be very different from what actually happened. So, for example, you may think this is a simple car accident, maybe a simple rear-end collision, but the evidence may come out that the other driver was impaired by alcohol or drugs, which may affect liability. And in fact, if you may thought you were at fault, but the other driver had some substances impairing their judgment, impacting their ability to drive, that may change the calculus entirely in terms of who's at fault. So number 1, stay calm and do not admit fault under any circumstances. Now number 2, it's important to exchange information with the other driver. When you're at the scene, this is actually required by Arizona law, that you need to provide your insurance information and your contact information with the other driver, and similarly, the other driver needs to do that to you. Regardless of who's at fault of the collision, it's important to exchange the information with the other driver. Number 3, take lots of pictures. You can just take these on your cell phone if you have it available, but take pictures of both your car as well as the other car, and make sure you have some pretty clear pictures of any damage that may be reflected, because sometimes the pictures will paint a complete story of how the accident happened and may also be an important tool to use when pursuing a claim for damages. Tip number 4, gather witness information. It is important that you get the name and good contact information for any witnesses that are on the scene, because in a lot of cases, both drivers may, or multiple drivers may contest exactly what happened with the collision. And the witnesses that were not involved in the collision can sometimes be the most credible witnesses, and they may be very helpful for a case down the road. Number 5, contact the police. Having the police be contacted and ultimately respond to the collision can be extremely important, because the police may gather information that you may not think is very important. Police will tend to get the insurance information, they tend to get good phone numbers, and they tend to document the collision sometimes pretty well. That may help for the insurance later on, especially when you have a good bodily injury or property damage claim and you need to collect on your damages. So contact the police, because they will provide a police report, they'll give you an incident number, and this makes it sometimes a lot easier when processing a claim. 6, do not delay getting necessary medical treatment. You may think nothing's wrong at the time of the collision, but it is extremely important that if you have any injuries whatsoever, or you have some lingering pain that you're not even sure whether it was from the collision or not, that you at least get a medical opinion. Whether it be going to your primary care physician or going to an urgent care visit, it's important to get a medical opinion, because if you delay in getting treatment and you seek recovery later, the insurance company is likely going to claim that either you waited too long so this wasn't very serious, or that this was unrelated to the auto accident. So don't delay in getting medical treatment. Tip number 7, contact an attorney. I hate making a plug here, but the truth is having an attorney can sometimes be fundamental in maximizing the value of your claim. And attorneys like me, as a personal injury attorney, I know what I'm doing. I've handled all sorts of auto accident cases, whereas this may be the first time you've ever been involved in a serious car accident. So I know what to look for, I know what to do to maximize the claim, I know what type of evidence to gather. And not to mention, it's going to decrease the stress on my clients having an attorney involved so they can focus on medical treatment, on all the other things, while I focus on working with the insurance company to get the most value for your claim. So if you are ever involved in a car accident in Arizona, it is extremely important that you contact me, Matthew Maerowitz, at 480-927-3700. I look forward to hearing from you.